starting in 2019, if a film is not diverse, then it will not be eligible for a BAFTA, which is basically the British equivalent of an Oscar. So eligible projects must showcase this in two of the following ways, as the BBC reported: on-screen characters and themes, senior roles and crew, industry training and career progression, and audience access and appeal to underrepresented audiences. So it's not necessarily that the leads of every picture have to be diverse. It can go as far as, behind the scenes, the crew, people involved in the project in multiple different ways. And this is really important. A lot of people are celebrating this. A lot of people are comparing it to what the Oscars have been struggling with recently. Remember the hashtag #OscarsSoWhite? We reported on that this year. Slate says, quote, stating point blank that you cannot even think about receiving accolades from one of the film's most prestigious institutions unless you make an effort to bring in a wider variety of collaborators is to light a much needed fire under the filmmakers' butts. So it's basically supposed to create an incentive in British filmmaking so that they are facing this issue head on. It's not something they can sort of brush aside. But Hasan, people are saying that this flies in the face of artistic freedom. They are saying that it's actually very intrusive for the BAFTA organization to implement this sort of ruling onto the filmmakers. Other people are saying that if you have an issue with this ruling, then you are just not as creative or imaginative as perhaps you should be if you're making films. What do you think about this?
So an important part that you brought up that I think is the most important part of the entire argument is that it doesn't have to just be the people that are on camera that they have to be diverse. Like all the leads have to be non-white actors because that's what a lot of people will be terrified of.
Yeah, and that's
instantly.
what I saw on Twitter. A lot of people were saying that when we have the next biopic of Princess Diana, they're going to have to cast a woman of color in the lead, and that's not what's happening here at all.
Taking it to the next extreme is what we do on the internet. So it's obvious that that's possibly one of the reasons for all this outrage coming out against this story. But I mean, your creativity is not infringed in any way, shape, or form if you make a requirement that the casting crew or the writers be more diverse, or even the actors be more diverse. They're not saying make Princess Diana black, but what they're instead saying is there are black people around us, or there are brown people around us, and they should have a part in the narration of this movie because they will be watching the movie as well. And also, they play a part of our lives, whether you agree with it or not.
Well, and it also extends
it's
to...
reflective of reality. It's reflective of our real society. So I don't understand why people are so against it, but go on.
Well, it also extends to the LGBTQ community as well. It's basically what they're saying, and I always...
Everybody knows LGBTQs are not real. Get out of here.
Yeah, we are unicorns. I always come back to, when it comes to issues of diversity within film or on television, I come back to Viola Davis's Emmy Award-winning, well, she was winning an Emmy, so I guess it was technically Emmy Award-winning speech, where she says
she won an Emmy for her speech.
Where she basically was saying that, wait, you know what? That'd be cool if they had Emmys for speeches. But anyway, in her speech, she was saying that you can't win an award for a role or for an opportunity that doesn't exist. So what she was saying, what she was calling for the the Television Association at that time, she was saying, we're just looking for the opportunity. We want to be in the room. We want to be basically have equal opportunity as so many of other people have experienced for so long. And I think that what we see is whenever the playing field becomes equal, the people who have had the advantages for so long feel as though they are losing out, when indeed it's just you're bringing up the people who have been so disenfranchised for so long. And so I think this is great that the BAFTA is making this move, and it'll be interesting to see how the Oscars respond, because the Oscars, pretty much all that they have done to address the issue since
Oscars are going to be like, Oscars so white. Whatever.
Well, what the Oscars have done to deal with the issue of lack of diversity and representation,
hire every black host in town.
They're changing its membership rules. Basically, they're shortening members' voting statuses to 10 years. And adding 3 more governor seats filled by people from underrepresented groups. So not much.
I mean, no, it could be something. I mean, look, it's a step in the right direction, so we shouldn't diminish that by saying it's nothing.
But in comparison,
but like, look,
you're dealing with like the governor's board, and then BAFTA is dealing with the actual films that are being awarded.
I totally understand, and I hope the impact is seen and it's positive, and we all start seeing more diverse casts. And look, it's just, I don't know. I want to play the devil's advocate here, but I can't. Like, I honestly, because I know what extremes people are thinking of when they see this news story.
Yeah.
And they're thinking like, oh, okay, so like Idris Elba is gonna play, all right, think of white person. I can't think of one.
James Bond.
Yeah, and then
Which
people
he
could, because James Bond's a fucking fictional character. But let's say it was a real life person, and then like another
Winston
individual.
Churchill.
Yeah. Idris Elba plays Winston Churchill. Like that's not what's going to happen. Yet people instantly take it there, and they're like, you're taking jobs away from honest white people. That would definitely be better than any other colored person.
I think what we're seeing online is progress is sometimes felt as growing pains. And when we hear people complain on Twitter and when they don't really look at the context of the full implementation of this new sort of policy, they feel growing pains. And that's good. Growing pains are good, and we should be talking about this in a respectful way. And we want to hear from you in the comment section below. What do you think about this new rule for the BAFTAs? What do you think about diversity in film and television? Do you think we're making steps towards progress? Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I'm Grace Baldridge. This is Hasan Piker, and we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.